Good afternoon. My name is Major Marlene Arias Reynoso. I am a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner student, and today I will give you a short summary on the book The Dance of Life, The Other Dimensions of Time, written by Edward T. Hall. This book pleasantly surprised me. I think that the author did a great job pointing out how different cultures view time. The author was a consultant to business and to the government. He also wrote several books, The Hidden Dimension, The Silent Language and Beyond Culture, and he was a professor of anthropology. And he taught at Northwestern University, Bennington College, and the U.S. Department of State. The Dance of Life describes how different cultures view time and how their perception of time influences their relationship with others. In order to better understand other cultures, we need to learn their language of time as much as their spoken language. I really like this quote by the author when he stated that a complicating factor in intercultural relations is that each culture has its own time frame in which their patterns are unique. So time has everything to do not only with how a culture develops, but also with how the people of that culture experience the world. I really like how the author divided the book in two main parts. He talked about time as a culture and time as an experience. When he talked about time as a culture, he talked about many kind of time and he defined them. He talked about biological time, physical time, personal time, and he believed that there is a misunderstanding about time in our society because time is not singular. He talked about the concept of meta time, and that is the balance between all of the different times. He also talked a bit about monochronic and polychronic times, and he say that monochronic time basically are cultures that see time as something tangible and linear. These cultures are task oriented. They focus on schedules and procedures, and definitely they dominate in business world and entertainment. So the group that he include in this monochronic time are Americans, Europeans, and Japanese. When he talk about polychronic time, he talk about cultures that focus in interaction with people rather than to following a set schedule. This group include Hispanic and Middle Eastern descendant. He also stated that many times there is a mix between monochronic and polychronic time, and many culture may be monochronic when they are working. So basically they are goal oriented. They have a set schedule when they are working, but when they go home, when they are interacting with family and friends, they tend to be more polychronic. So they really focus on the interaction with that individual. Also, he talked about high and low context message, and he stated that words and sentence has different meaning depending on the context in which they are used. One of the examples that he gave, he talked about how Japanese are part of a high context tradition and do not get to the point quickly. So they give you a lot of information. In the other hand, you have Americans and Europeans that they prefer to get to the main point quickly. So they basically think about bottom line up front. He also talked about the East and the West, and he stated that in order to work better with people from different cultures, we need to know how they think and how they organize and explain their ideas. If the time system of two cultures are different, everything else will be different. So at times it can be challenging to work with people with different cultures if we don't really understand their time system. In the US, we strive for meeting of the minds, but in cultures like in Japan, they strive for meeting of the heart. I really like the part of the book when he's talking about time as a experience. He say that experiencing time is basically the factors that help us understand how time is the factor that help us understand how time is experienced are situation and cultural dependent. So every individual has their own perception based on past experiences. So one can experience time as passing versus dragging. So somebody can say, time is so slow, and another person that is in the same situation may see that as very fast. Also, age affect how people experience time. So a 70-year-old may perceive, a week or a year as kind of trivial, not that much, but when you're talking to a 5-year-old, a year, a month, things like, a lifetime for them. Also, he talked about the dance of life, and he introduced the concept interpersonal synchrony, and he described that as the ability to communicate with others in harmony. Personality and culture are two of the main contributing factors. And he also basically stated that sometimes we will have better rhythm or harmony than others. So sometimes things like everything flow easy, and other times things seems to be a little more like things are not working your way. But definitely synchrony improve group cohesion. So the more synchrony that you have, the better and the easier will be for you to collaborate with that group. He also talked about entrainment, and that's the process that occurs when two or more people become engaged in each other's rhythm, when they synchronize. The example that he gave is how an infant will move with his mother voice. So when an infant hears his mother voice, they normally tend to get excited and they recognize their voice. So this is a key contributor to the survival of our species, understanding what is a familiar sound or noise and what is an unfamiliar sound. And the last chapter, he talked about God is in the detail, and he believed that the degree in which humans learn more about their sensitivity, talents, and diversity, they should begin to appreciate not only themselves, but also others. So hopefully, this will decrease the tendency we have to suppress anything that is different. And the bottom line is that God created everything and he created diversity. So God likes diversity. The author's assumptions were both research-based and based on his personal experience or opinion. He used over 100 different references from books, articles, and graduate level lectures to write this book. And he spent some time with a Native American. He's from United States himself, but he also traveled to Japan, West European countries. He has some time with Latin Americans. So he learn a lot from his personal time and observation in different countries and cultures. This book was really relevant to leadership within the Uniformed Service University. I think that effective leaders in a diverse society are aware of their behaviors, possible bias, and how they may be different from others. So self-awareness is so important, and understanding your culture so you can understand the different with different cultures. And as a leader in a multicultural environment, it is critical to understand cultural differences to improve communication and teamwork. And for all of us in the military and in a different service, Army, Air Force, Navy, we need to understand not only cultures like Hispanic culture and African American and Europeans. We also need to understand the culture between the different services. And finally, cultural intelligence contributes to effective leadership, which increase cohesiveness, performance, and satisfaction. So when you understand others and you value their differences, definitely they will be easier for them to work with you or for you. As advanced practice nurses, we'll be leading people from many different culture settings. So we need to be able to influence our patient to modify bad behaviors, and at the same time, we need to motivate our subordinates and peers and superiors to improve outcomes. So we need to understand where they're coming from, and also understand that it's differences, and that will help us to better target or interventions or interaction with others. Also, understand cultural diversity when collaborating with a multidisciplinary team is so important. We will be collaborating with physicians, social workers, chaplains, and they have a different background. So we need to understand their cultures as well. The common denominator is that we all want to provide the best patient care. So we all we have the same goal. We want to get our patient better and back functioning. So we need to collaborate with each other and understand our differences. It is essential to understand the point of view of those who are different in order to make better informed decisions. And finally, leaders who communicate effectively and create cohesive team understand the importance of cultural diversity. So if everybody is thinking just like you, you're missing something. So the more diverse our group, the better decision we will make and the better outcome for our patient and also for the organization. Here are the questions. Here are the reference, I'm sorry. If you have any questions, please, you can email it to me, and I will, if I don't have the answer for you, I will definitely look to find that answer. Have a great day and take care.